In this podcast episode, Ben Shapiro delves into a variety of pressing topics, including President Trump's rising poll numbers, military actions against the Houthis in Yemen, and the implications of recent natural disasters in the United States. The episode also touches on cultural issues, the Democratic Party's internal struggles, and the ongoing situation in Ukraine. Shapiro begins by highlighting President Trump's impressive polling numbers, suggesting that America is experiencing a political comeback under his leadership. He emphasizes that while the culture war is ongoing, Trump's decisive actions, particularly regarding military engagement, are noteworthy. Over the weekend, Trump ordered military strikes against the Houthis, a group he describes as anti-American and anti-Israel terrorists in Yemen. The Houthis have been attacking shipping routes in the Red Sea, prompting the U.S. military's intervention to protect international trade and restore navigational freedom. Shapiro explains that the Houthis are heavily funded and supported by Iran, and their actions have significant economic repercussions, including rising shipping costs and inflation. He cites data indicating that the attacks have led to a substantial increase in global consumer goods inflation, which could be attributed to the disruptions caused by the Houthis. The military response, according to Shapiro, is a necessary measure to ensure the safety of American shipping and to send a strong message to Iran. The podcast also addresses the recent devastating tornadoes that struck parts of the United States, resulting in numerous fatalities. Shapiro criticizes attempts by some media outlets to blame the Trump administration for these natural disasters, arguing that such claims are unfounded. He asserts that while the federal government's response to disasters is crucial, attributing blame for the occurrence of natural events is misguided. Shapiro expresses confidence that the Trump administration will rise to the occasion in addressing the aftermath of these disasters. Shapiro transitions to cultural issues, discussing the current state of the Democratic Party. He notes that Democrats are grappling with internal conflicts, particularly regarding identity politics and their stance on various social issues. He points out that many Democrats are dissatisfied with their leadership and are calling for a shift towards more radical positions, which could further alienate moderate voters. The podcast features a discussion about the implications of cultural figures like Dylan Mulvaney, who has gained notoriety for his transition and activism. Shapiro critiques Mulvaney's portrayal of womanhood, arguing that it undermines the experiences of biological women. He expresses concern that the normalization of such figures in media and politics is detrimental to the rights and recognition of women. Shapiro highlights the Democratic Party's identity crisis, noting that their focus on identity politics and social issues has overshadowed pressing economic concerns. He argues that this approach has alienated many voters, particularly those who prioritize issues like the economy, immigration, and public safety. The podcast suggests that the Democrats' inability to address these fundamental issues could hinder their chances in future elections. Shapiro also discusses the potential for a shift in the political landscape, emphasizing that if Democrats continue to cling to radical ideologies, they may struggle to regain the trust of the electorate. He points out that the party's internal divisions and the rise of figures like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez could further complicate their efforts to present a unified front. The podcast concludes with an analysis of the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Shapiro notes that recent developments have seen Russia consolidating its territorial gains, raising concerns about the future of Ukraine's sovereignty. He discusses President Trump's upcoming conversation with Vladimir Putin, suggesting that negotiations may be necessary to bring an end to the conflict. However, Shapiro expresses skepticism about the likelihood of a favorable outcome, given Putin's history of aggression and unwillingness to compromise.